Welcome back, everybody. How many times do you forget the simplest things, like when you first meet someone and then a second later you've already forgotten their name? They say memory is the first to go, but it doesn't have to be. And here to tell us more is memory coach and Guinness World Record holder, Ron White. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
And so that happens to me. Does it happen to you all the time? Yeah. I meet somebody and they say their name, and then a second later it's gone.
Sure.
What's going on there?
Well, it happens to everybody, and the reason that you meet a person today and you see somebody and 6 weeks later you're at the grocery store and you think, gee, I know the face.
Yes.
I just can't think of the name. And the reason that you remember a face and you don't remember the name is right now you're seeing the face. You're looking at the face. You're not looking at the name. Your mind remembers what it sees. So you have to see the name as well as seeing the face.
So if they have a name tag and I look at their name tag that says Ron White, then that makes more sense.
That's right.
I've heard that some people say, gosh, when I'm like Ron is wearing, so you had a red jacket on, double R. Do you ever, people try to have little ways to kind of connect the name with just a quick memory or a quick moment?
Or anything for that matter.
Yeah.
Right. The key to remember the name is to turn it into a picture. If for example, if their name is Steve, you want to see a stove. Or if their name is Lisa, you want to see the Mona Lisa. If it's Karen, you want to see a carrot. Or Ron, a man running, or something like that. But you have to be able to see the name in order to remember. At least that's my technique. You may have your own techniques, but that's the techniques that I teach.
Now, how did it all start for you? I imagine that it started when you were in college and you were trying to memorize all those things for the test. Yeah, kidding. Phone number for exams. Right?
Yeah, well.
So how did it all start for you?
Actually, it's a very good guess. I didn't tell you that, but it did start in college. And to say that I was in college is kind of a stretch. I was enrolled in college.
Sure.
But
weren't we all at one point?
But at the end of my first year, I had a 0.9 GPA, and I know that sounds more like an interest rate than a GPA, but that was my GPA, and I got suspended for a year. I couldn't go back to college, and during that year of suspension, I had to find work because I couldn't go to college, and I took a job at a memory company, and they taught memory seminars, and I took the seminar, and I thought, wow, this will help me with college.
Yeah.
And the next semester, I went back, and I went from a 0.9 GPA to a 3.5, and I know a lot of people get a 3.5. That's no big deal, but I don't.
You go from that to a 3.5.
I tripled my GPA.
Awesome. Yeah, there was so many times when I was in college, and I'm reading something, and I'm trying to memorize every single thing, and I get in the class, and I'm like, what's the answer? And I never figure it out.
Right.
But there's techniques that you
Oh, absolutely. There's techniques that you can learn to give a speech without notes, memorize a chapter of a book, and most likely you'd study for that test. You'd go in and take the test. You couldn't remember the answer. You turn in the test, and then you're walking down the hall 2 minutes later, and boom, the answer pops in your mind. You're thinking, I wish I could go, back and take my test again, because the information's up there. We just have to learn how to retrieve it whenever we want it.
Can anybody do this too, or do you think it's certain types of people that just, type A versus type B personality? Is anybody able to?
I think just about anybody can do it. I mean, I do seminars and I have a money-back guarantee, and I very rarely ever refund anyone's money. So I'd say anybody can do it. I mean, from ages 10, I've had World War II veterans come in my seminar, and they're carrying their oxygen tank. Whenever they're in the seminar, I'm like, oh no, here comes our first refund. And then they do it.
And then they are able to make it happen. Now, I mentioned in the tease that you're a Guinness World Record holder.
Right.
And you're going to try to break that a little later on in the show.
Right.
Really quickly, can you just tell everybody how that works?
Well, there was a guy in Germany, Gert Mettering. He memorized 22 numbers in a minute and 18 seconds, and then I broke that record on a television show a few years ago. And I guess he got irritated with me because I found out that he's broken it now. So
now you guys are going to
now I'm going to go try to break it again.
The race is on.
Yeah, I guess so.
So you're going to try to break it on our show. We have to take a quick break, but you're going to be here later on too.
Right.
So get ready.
Okay.
Get
I'm
ready. Okay.
All right. Do it.
All right, everybody. Take a quick break, but it's a great summertime activity for your kids right after this.